Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Netta, and welcome to my channel, honey. I just finished dropping off the little ones at daycare because, hey, it's voting day and no schools today here in the RVA. Two up, two down. All right. This is my rant for the day. Yeah. So, my rant of the day is don't complain unless you vote for that change. Okay? So no matter which way you vote, that's none of my business. Okay? Just make sure you vote. Because if things don't go your way, Miss Netta ain't trying to hear your mouth. Okay? Just shut it on down, okay? It's important to us to vote, you guys. I wish I would even look like I'm not voting, or even tell my grandmother not to, because yeah, that was a time she couldn't vote. And I never forget the time when we voted Obama into office, and I spent that time with my grandma. It was me, my grandma, and my Aunt Barbara. We were sitting there, just watching the tally. You know how they tally the votes, and it was like, it was after 7, so we was waiting for them, the final product, or the final totals for the election. And I never forget that moment. I mean, for real, when they announced Barack Obama being the 44th president of the United States, my grandma, my grandmama, she burst out in tears. At that moment, I realized how important it was to her that we had our first African American to be our president. I was not born, in 1933 like my grandmama, but I can't even imagine or wrap my mind around of the things that they went through back in the day, as far as not being able to vote and things like that. I mean, hey, I'm not a whiz in history, so I'm sure females weren't voting back in 1933, okay? And I know my grandmother and my auntie, her twin sister, used to tell us millions and millions and millions of stories of segregation, the things that they had to endure. My family's all about teaching their generation after generation after generation our history. And you guys, believe it or not, I met my great-great-great-grandfather. He died when I was 6 years old. He was 110. Hilliard McMore. I'm sure you can Google it, but yeah. So I was 6 years old, and I remember me sitting on his lap and singing to him. He always asked me to sing him a song when I was 6 years old. Y'all been singing for a very long time. But the things that they went through and the stories I've heard growing up over the years, I mean, they used to sit us around, all the kids and grandkids around, to tell us stories, the things that they had to endure. So the fact of me not voting is not even an option to me because of the stories. Simple as that. I may not have lived it, but it was the stories that convinced me. And I remember when my grandfather, when he was living, he used to campaign for his favorite candidate. And we used to walk around, I used to sit with my granddad in the front seat. That's when, when you're young, you can sit in the front seat back in the day. And his stinking Lincoln, we used to call it a stinking Lincoln. And his Lincoln, and he had a big old bullhorn attached to the top of his car. And I remember feeling so embarrassed, like, I mean, I love hanging with my granddad. It was just me and my granddaddy. But to be able to, you know, be a part of that, to see the pride, you know, that he had, and just going all out for his favorite candidate, you know, doing his part, yeah. Not voting is definitely not an option for me, and it should not be for you, whether it's for your grandparents, your children, or your children's children. Be that example, because the ones that don't vote are the first to complain. And yeah, Miss Netta ain't trying to hear it. I don't care how long the lines are. It's cold out here, y'all. I had to pull out the winter coat, okay? Had to pull out the puffer coat. I don't care. You know, this is not Wendy's. This is not Chick-fil-A, honey. This is our future. Get in those lines and stay there till you cast your vote, because that's very important. I'm sorry for the long rant, but you guys, this is so important to me. You know, it's not all about, you know, who I think you should vote for, because that's here nor there. Just have that voice. Teach your children how to support, how to make a difference. And some people think, okay, my vote don't count. So not true. Okay, I'm not gonna go into the why I think is, you know, your vote will count and stuff. I'm not here for that. My job, you know, my personal job for myself is to convince my subbies and my viewers, get your butt off your tails, get out and vote today. All right? So I am headed in there right now, because it looks like it's not a lot of people here because it's cold and it's early. So yeah, I'm about to do this thing. Okay? So I'll talk to you guys later. And hey, may the best candidate win. All right? So smooches. You better vote, honey.